What balloons do you use for a balloon garland?
So generally I use latex balloons. Obviously there are some times that I add some other balloons like orbs and things like that, which are made out of mylar, but the latex brand balloons that I like to use are either Tuftex balloons or Calisan balloons.
How do you make a balloon garland shiny?
Well, there are a few ways you can make a balloon garland shiny. The most popular way is to use a product called High Shine. That is just something that you are going to spray onto your balloons after you install them. Do not do it before because it's going to be messy. We also did a video where there's a substitution for High Shine, which is going to be actually just some hairspray.
Do balloon garlands use helium?
So no, we do not use any helium in our balloon garlands for a few reasons. Obviously, helium is expensive, it can be hard to find, and really honestly there's no need for it because we use hooks and 260s and different techniques to get the balloon garland to stay where we want it and to give the effect of it floating, but without using helium.
Will a balloon garland last overnight?
Yes, most definitely. Obviously, if your balloon garland is outside in the heat or in the cold, it's gonna last less amount of time than if it's indoors. But we generally prep our balloons and inflate them either the day before, sometimes a couple days before, and they will last, especially indoors, for a couple weeks.
What's the difference between a balloon arch and a balloon garland?
So to me, a balloon arch is obviously when your balloon starts at the bottom, goes all the way around, and ends at the bottom, creating an archway. A garland usually starts at the floor and then comes up, and then it'll kind of stop up at the top.
How long does it take to make a balloon garland?
Obviously, this can vary based on a few things, how large you're creating, also how many people you have working for you. For us, it's just myself and Zach. Usually when we're prepping, it's just myself inflating, and that is the most time-consuming part, so that can take anywhere between 2 hours and 4 hours. And then usually I have Zach's help on install, so that usually cuts it down to maybe around average of 2 hours for an installation.
What type of hooks do you use to attach your balloon garland to any wall?
Well, there are two different types of hooks that I like to use. If you're working indoors, I like to use the 3M command hooks. Obviously, those are not going to damage your client's walls. You are outdoors, if you're trying to install on a textured wall like brick or cement, you're going to need more of a heavy-duty hook such as these that I get on Amazon. So your command hooks will not stick to those.
How do you fill in the gaps in a balloon garland?
If you do the technique that I like to use, where you're tying the necks of your balloons together, you really shouldn't have too many gaps. So I don't usually fill in gaps. If I do see a gap, a lot of the times you can kind of just maneuver your balloons around a little bit and cover that gap pretty easily. If you are still seeing gaps, you can obviously use some of your minis to try and cover those gaps up. But again, if you're using the tying of the neck technique, it usually keeps your balloons very compact with very minimal spaces.
What size balloons do I need for a balloon garland?
Okay, so this is something else that's obviously going to vary based off of the size of your overall installation. But the most common ones that I use for everyone are going to be 5 inches, 11 inches, and 17 inches.
What materials do I need in order to start a balloon garland?
If you want to use the least amount of materials, all you're really going to need is an electric balloon blower, which you can find on Amazon, some 260s, which are just those long, straight balloons that people make balloon animals out of. And then you're going to want some latex balloons from some of the brands that I mentioned earlier, Tuftex, Calisan, Sempertex. There's a lot of good brands out there. Hopefully this answers answered some of your questions. If you have any that we didn't touch base on this video, go ahead and leave them in the comments below, and we will make another Q&A question video in the future.